Well, good morning, friends. Coach Bob with you, and welcome to another Worship on Wheels. I'm out here in the garage. It's literally the middle of the night. One thing I've learned as I've gotten older is that sleep can be somewhat elusive. You wake up and the old mind starts turning and you're up. I remember as a young man, that just didn't seem to happen. But I'm supposed to go for a motorcycle ride later today, so I figured I'd come out and clean and lube the chain on the SV and on the Triumph, just to give me something to do. We got back late last night from Valdosta. It was a nice time over there. But anyway, so the verse today that we're going to be talking about is out of the book of James. And it says this is James 4:17. So whoever knows the right thing to do and fails to do it, for him it is a sin. Man, I've struggled with that one for a long time. So let's talk about that while I do a little work on a motorcycle. All right, so now that I have a clean chain, now it's time to adjust it. But before I get to adjusting this chain, let's talk about what that even means. Years ago, I used to hear an old saying that ran around my family whenever I would do stupid things as a young man. My dad would say, well, ignorance is bliss. In other words, you can be happy knowing that you didn't know. And I think that is one of the things that I've come to learn over the years, that we're not really held accountable for everything we do wrong if we don't know it's wrong. Now, I know that, we've all been told ignorance of the law is no excuse. I've got some clocks beeping out here, some stopwatches from swim. But we've been stopped, and you get stopped by the law enforcement officer, and you go, I didn't realize I was doing that wrong there, boss. I'm sorry about that. And the old, ignorance of the law is no excuse. We've heard that. But fortunately for us, God doesn't work like that. He doesn't say, well, you didn't know that was wrong, and so therefore I'm going to hold you accountable for it anyway. And that's not how it works. It says that if you know that what you're doing is wrong and you do it anyway, that's when it becomes a sin. I have a lot of people go, well, is it wrong for me to do this? Is it wrong for me to do that? I'm going to ask you, well, is it wrong? It doesn't matter if is it wrong for you to do it or is it wrong for me. Is it wrong, generally speaking? Do we know that certain things are right, certain things are wrong? And it's very, very difficult. One of the things that, for example, something as simple as adjusting a chain. We think about little things that we do in maintenance of motorcycles and stuff, and how can that apply to a Bible lesson? Well, if I know that this chain is out of adjustment and I know it's dirty and I know it's going to damage things on here, when that chain breaks or snaps or creates a problem in my life, I knew it was wrong, and I'm going to pay the price for not doing the right thing of something that was very, very simple to do the right thing. But I had to go out of my way to do the right thing. More times than not, what we're going to find in our lives is that we have to go out of our way to do the right thing. It's so easy to do the wrong thing. It's easy to lash out and be nasty to people, not to be kind to a neighbor. It's a lot harder to say, my neighbor is having a problem in his life and he hasn't been very nice to me. I think I'll mow his grass. That's a lot harder than saying, that guy's not very nice. I'll just ignore him. I'll see him sitting on the porch and I won't say hello to him, because if I do, he may want to vent and tell me all of his problems. We've got to do the right thing, folks. We have to do the right things, because we will, in the end, we will be held accountable. And our lives, honestly, as we weave through life, God will bless. The Bible uses this word too. It's one we don't want to hear: bless and curse. When it doesn't mean that God's going to throw you into this big giant lake of fire because you mess up every time. But what it does mean is that we do reap what we sow. Just like with the chain, if I don't take care of it, that thing can snap and tear my leg to pieces. If you don't love your neighbor, you know what? When you need love, guess what? It might not happen. That's part of that thing. If you know it's right, you got to do it. One of the things I brought my children up saying this saying a lot. You've probably all heard it. Right is right if nobody's doing it. Wrong is wrong if everybody's doing it. Do the right thing. All right. So I hope that you're doing the right thing. I hope that your life is simple. I hope it's clean. I didn't say easy. It's simple. Doing the right thing is simple, but it is rarely easy. So love your neighbor, love your God, honor your God. Try to control this old tongue. Who can bridle the tongue? Man, I don't know. I have a hard time with that one. Try to be patient, be gentle, be loving. The Bible does say this also. Love covers a multitude of sin. So, all right, my friends, know this. Yes, you are loved, and so am I, and that is great news. Now you go change the world by doing the right thing. We'll see you on the road real soon.